All right, folks, day one of fall camp is here. And look, we got a visitor, Josh Abrams, class of 2008. Welcome back, man.
Hey, glad to be back, man. Love it here. Love it here. Miss everything about it. Just enjoying my time here, and thank you for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. So when's the last time you were back on campus?
About 4 or 5 years ago, came up here to visit, saw the new indoor facility. Coach Soldier was the coach at the time, but just seeing the whole staff, Coach Germano, Coach Albin, and the rest of the staff here, just amazing to see the progress that they've made each year. And you know, I'm excited to bring my son here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Brought my son here this time, so he's actually enjoying the festivities, checking out campus, checking out the team, and I'm just glad that he's a rising senior. So to bring him up here and have him watch how a preliminary powerhouse in the MAC, just to watch how they practice, how they work, he's excited for it.
No doubt. So when you were here at Ohio, you were a running back.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So your position coach was Tim Albin. Tim Albin was the offensive coordinator. So
Yes,
take us behind the scenes. What was Coach Albin like as a coach back then when you were a running back?
Oh, Coach Albin was probably one of the best coaches I've had. The best thing he did was show us respect. He's kind of, a lot of my DNA as a coach stems from how he taught me, how he taught Calvin, Calvin McCray that was here with us for my 4 years, just how he explained things to us in detail, how he gives respect as players, not just from sophomores, but from seniors as well. His detail as the offensive coordinator, just learning receiver routes, pass protection, how things work as a running back, to have all that built up into how I am now as a coach. Kudos to him. And it's funny seeing him now as a head man. He's just walking around. I'm used to you coaching and screaming and hollering at us, so it's fun watching him now.
So what was your scouting report? Tell the people what you were like at Ohio.
Speed. I was able to run like a 4.31, 4.29 my pro day. Good special teams player. That's where I made most of my impact, from kick return. I was able to block 3 punts in a game my senior year. I blocked 6 in my last 2 years.
Wow.
So my impact was really more on a special team standpoint. And then I was a backup to Calvin McCray. So being a backup to an all-time leading rusher, it ain't so bad.
Yeah.
So just to make sure he was okay. And for the most part, just made my impact on special teams.
Love that. That's awesome. So after you played football here at Ohio, you had a little bit of time professionally.
Yes.
What are some things that you learned about your professional journey? You were with Toronto, the Argos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Green Bay Packers as well. Talk about that journey and what you learned.
Yes. So I played for the Green Bay Packers on practice squad, and then that's when they moved me to DB. And then,
that's a crazy transition, running back to DB.
Yes, very true. Wasn't sure that I can do it. But at the same time, the NFL asks you to do something, you're going to do it. So to have that opportunity to learn from guys like Charles Woodson, Al Harris, Will Blackman, Pat Lee, and I can go on for names for days of those guys that helped me out and built my development as a defensive back. And then after that, I had a chance to go to Toronto Argonauts, and a very underrated league at the time is the Canadian Football League. I guess you see guys now like Pappy White and Malik Irons that are up there now.
AJ Ouellette too.
AJ Ouellette, who's doing very well for the Argonauts. Go Argos, by the way. And just to learn from guys like Willie Powell, Lynn J. Shell, like guys that also played in the NFL that was in Toronto. Coach Orlando Steinhauer. I've had a lot of guys that really build me up and really teach me the game, teach me the ropes. So now as a coach, and it's funny now, I'm kind of known as a DB guy, but people don't know my background as a running back in college. So to be able to learn both sides of the ball really helps me out as a coach.
Any crazy stories from Al Harris or Charles Woodson? Charles Woodson, Hall of Famer. I mean, you got to have taken maybe 1 or 2 words that
okay,
stuck with you.
I got one for each one. The funniest one from Charles Woodson is just that he was at the training table, and we went to practice, and he just shows up and says, "Hey, I got this rep," and catches the interception and walks off. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what is going on? And I remember Coach Speed just said, "Hey, that's Charles Woodson. That's Hall of Fame." And I was like, okay, I get it. Now, Al Harris was from a different standpoint. We was in meeting rooms, and it was the first time he actually met me. And he was asking a question, it was a get to know me kind of thing. I told him I played running back. And he made a comment like, "Oh, I could bring my uncle here to play DB." And I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, like I'm starstruck at the same time. My feelings was hurt, but it was all good laughs. Those 2 guys and plus the other guys were just amazed about how professional they are, how to be detailed in their game, how to be detailed in their position. Like everything I learned from them was just the amount of knowledge I kicked in that I can kick the guys that I'm coaching now Shout out to my guys at Greenville High School, Coach Porter, Coach Lamb. Yeah, we out here. You know, that to be able to teach those guys the things that I learned from them and to see them develop into great men themselves. You know, kudos to everyone in my life that's ever spent some knowledge on me.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. So you just plugged it. You're your high school football coach now, right?
Yes.
At Greenville High School?
Yes.
So what do you like as a coach? What's Josh Abrams like as a coach?
I believe if my players can answer that question, I think they'll have a lot of answers. Very detailed, but at the same time, a player's coach. Because of my knowledge of the game, because of my experience playing, I understand certain things that happen, and it really helps out from the player-coach relationship. So when they're telling me what's going on, I can relate to that. Like, okay, I see what you saw. Whether it's right or wrong, you know, I'm not much of a yeller, but whether it's right or wrong, let's teach it and let's learn, let's talk it through, and then let's build on that and go on to the next level. So to have that as a coach, it really helps out with the players. So now, you know, I have their trust, I have their commitment, and hopefully I got guys that can run through a wall for me. They may say something back, but they'll run through a wall for me. But hey, I love the guys down there. Coach Porter, Coach Lamb, Coach Harris, the guys down there that really helped me out as a coach as well. You know, just building me up. Again, just learning from the other aspect of coaching, of being a head coach.
Yeah.
And now whether I become a head coach or not, that's another story for another time. But to learn the aspects of it and to understand the dynamics of it, you know, really kudos to that staff and that school for really building me up.
That's awesome. So you know, you're rooted at Ohio. Obviously, you went here, you played here. What do you tell people about Ohio when it comes up in conversation?
We're winning, you know, and it's not just a school that, you know, prior to my time, it's just a school that, you know, just shows up and, you know, they didn't win a lot of games. You know, I think my class with Calvin McCray, myself, Landon Cohen, Todd Koenig, that class really started a tradition of wanting to win. And it's built up with the staff of Coach Solis and Coach Albin and others for them to come in, and we built that culture here that you come here, you're here to win. You know, we're not here to, you know, have a good time. Yes, we're here to get our education. We're here to build the relationships, but when you come to play football, we're here to win. Like, it's like we want to win the MAC every year. As you can see, we're predicted to win the MAC and compete for the MAC every year, going to bowl games, enjoying that experience that most college football players need to experience when you go to a powerhouse program like that. So you come here, OU, oh yeah, we're rocking.
That hashtag is still living.
Yes,
it's amazing.
yes.
So you had a chance. You were talking about courtside pizza. You went back to some of your favorite eats, right?
Yes,
while you're here.
Yes, Taco John's, one of my favorite spots. DiPito, courtside pizza. I mean, it's a lot of spots that I've seen that I'm still shocked they're still here. So I had a chance to show my son a couple of the spots, and he's enjoyed it. So it's like, okay, you starting to buy into the OU method. Like, this is how we lived for a little bit. Now a lot has changed though. There's a couple stores that I've checked out. Like a bakery that has some treats or whatever, that I'm like, okay, I wish you was here during my time. But you know, it's just great to see the development of Court Street and all the other buildings, and seeing that businesses are finally seeing that, hey, this can be a good spot for revenue, a good spot for college students with the enrollment going up. I mean, I'm just, like I said, proud.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta have OU and proud.
Yeah. Well, appreciate your time, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming up and visiting. It's been awesome to get to know you. And yeah, Josh Abrams, folks. If you don't know him, now you do. Thanks for watching.